Hello and welcome to Carnegie. My name is Ludvig Svensson. I'm an equity analyst here at the bank. With me today I have the Ascelia team, Magnus Korfitzen, CEO, and Julie Varas-Brogren, Deputy CEO. Welcome to the bank.
Thank you.
Can you start off by giving a brief introduction to the company, maybe in particular Orviglance, your lead asset?
Yeah. So Ascelia Pharma is a biotech company focused on developing new drugs that will help patients with rare cancer conditions. We have 2 drugs in clinical development as of now. We have Orviglance, which is our lead program, a diagnostic drug in clinical phase 3. The results of the phase 3 study will come by May this year. We have another asset, Anoral, which is a therapeutic for treatment of solid tumors. It's ready for starting phase 2 clinical development, also a program that we are very excited about. As mentioned, it's a Swedish company. We're based in Malmö and we've been traded on Nasdaq main market since 2019.
And the market potential for Orviglance, what does it look like?
Yeah, so with Orviglance we're addressing a global market opportunity of $800 million annually. And those are patients who have cancer and need scanning of the liver and who also have severely impaired kidney function. So it's a drug that will improve the image when they go through an MRI scanning. It's particularly important for these patients because they are at risk if they use the standard drugs available today to enhance this image, so gadolinium contrast agents. And we know from market research that 80% of our target patient population today either have an MRI scanning without a contrast agent, so a poor quality of the image, or maybe a half-dose gadolinium. We also know from the market research that physicians are aware of these risks. So this is a very vulnerable patient population with a high unmet need for safe and high-quality imaging of their liver.
And you also have Anoral in your portfolio. Can you tell us a bit about Anoral?
Yeah, so Anoral is a therapeutic. It's used to treat solid cancer types. We are targeting treatment of gastric cancer, stomach cancer, where today that's a terrible diagnosis and a poor prognosis for these patients. We think with Anoral, where we can give daily treatment, will improve the quality of care for a number of these patients. So next step will be to move that asset into phase 2 in due time, and we are super excited about that program as well.
Thank you. And you recently announced a financing of up to 35 million SEK. Can you please explain the rationale behind this financing and why you decided to do it now rather than after the top-line data?
Yes, so we announced the financing of up to 35 million Swedish kronor early February. And this financing is ideal for us right now because it creates a financial flexibility and a strategic flexibility leading into the headline results by May and the period coming after that. With the full financing of 35 million, we now have a runway into Q2 2025. So it's really an ideal situation leading into the headline results and the period after that.
Thank you. And now that we've got the background of the company, we will focus on the Sparkle study that you're conducting. What is the status of development for Orviglance right now?
Yeah, so the phase 3 study, Sparkle, where we are testing Orviglance, and with based on these data positive, we expect to be able to have market approval. The status of the study is that all patients have been recruited, all the images are in the database, all the safety reportings and measurements are also in the database. So what is ongoing now is that we have independent radiologists evaluating the images, which is defined in the protocol, and that is the outcome of the study, will be determined based on their assessments. So that's a super exciting time, and we expect to have the results by May this year.
And in August last year, you announced the need for a re-evaluation of the images included in the study due to issues with intra-reader variability. What does this mean, the intra-reader variability?
Yeah, essentially it means that a radiologist or a person, when looking at the same image twice, have two different scores for the same picture. And you would obviously not expect that. When you have a large number of images, there will be some variation. What we saw was very significant differences, which it basically does not, the quality control says, it's flawed. It cannot be trusted. So what we have done is that we have initiated a new reading evaluation with some new radiologists. So we have made a much more extensive training program and testing them before they're allowed to start the reading of the images in the study. And we're also doing a closely monitoring of the progress, and if any support is needed, then we are catching any needs very early. So we are very confident that these measures will make the radiologists more stringently following the reading manual, which was not the case in the first instance.
Mm-hmm. And is this intra-reader variability, is it a common problem in these kind of studies?
It happens more often than you would know. And it's well documented in the literature that this is a significant issue. That's also why we put in the quality control step with having some of the images twice, where we could see that we had these issues. Other companies have had similar issues in their phase 3 programs and other studies. And their resolution to this has been the same approach as we have, having a new set of radiologists being trained, re-evaluating the images, and then submitting to the regulatory authorities. And these products are on the market today. And we have talked to, you could say, colleagues in the medical imaging industry and learned of their challenges and what they have done to rectify these issues. And we have been inspired by those discussions in terms of how could we apply that for the Sparkle study, which we have now done.
Yeah. And what are these exact measures that you have been taking in order to decrease the risk for this happening?
So it's better training, it's testing them before they're allowed to evaluate the images in the study, and close monitoring to support any, and identify any issues as they develop, to the extent that obviously we can, because we don't know the results until the very end when we announce them. Mm. But we believe those are the three key elements, and we think we've made very substantial improvements in those areas.
Yeah. And you have communicated that it will be available, the data, top-line data, in May. Are you still on track on delivering on this, or how is the status?
Absolutely. On track by May.
Perfect. And what would be positive results in this study? What should investors look for when you announce the top-line data?
So they should obviously look for the primary endpoint, which is the lesion visualization. And that is what we will report, and that's what we will say, this is the objective, this is the outcome of the study. So that's a key parameter. And obviously, as part of that, as we also had in the first reading process, we need to make sure that the quality and the accuracy of the readings is acceptable. It was not acceptable in the first go. We will, of course, evaluate that and communicate that as part of the announcement of the headline results.
Right. And if the readout is positive, how does the pathway for Orviglance to market look like?
Yeah, Julie?
Yeah, so the next steps after the headline results will be to prepare the filing for an FDA application and later approval with the FDA, and with time or other markets.
Yeah. And the next steps for the company, what will investors expect now during 2024?
Yeah, so 2024 is going to be a transformative year for Orviglance and for Ascelia. First and foremost, we've come a long way with Orviglance. We have a drug that can help patients with a high unmet need, an $800 million addressable market, half of it in the US. Very strong data from 8 phase 1 and phase 2 studies. We've completed the patient recruitment. This year we will have the headline results by May. We will progress the preparation of the filing for the FDA to have an approval in the US and eventually a launch in the US. And we will continue progressing our dialogue with potential partners who will be part of the commercialization efforts. So a very transformative year for Ascelia, and also a possibility to help patients who need better treatment.
Yeah, it will be exciting to follow your journey in 2024. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.